Today we are going to start a new reading lesson. The title of our lesson is Light Detectives. These are the objectives we are going to cover throughout the lesson. Here's a video about Eris. Eris, which is a dwarf planet. It is called a dwarf planet. While you watch the
Past all of the
session,
rocky inner worlds and
you will
the
know
mighty
why
gas
is Eris
giants,
called
the
a
dwarf planet
planet.
Pluto can be found. At its most distant point, it is 4.6 billion miles away from Earth. But although Pluto is extremely far away, it is not the last world in our solar system. Travelling further into the outer reaches reveals many more strange and mysterious objects that have been discovered hiding in the darkness of space. So let's travel beyond the icy world Pluto and find out what's lurking at the edge of the solar system. After the unusual egg-shaped world Haumea and the icy red-coloured world Makemake, the second largest dwarf planet in the solar system can be located. Named after the Greek goddess of strife and discord, Eris is 1,445 miles in diameter, making it a similar size to Pluto. At its most distant point, Eris is 8.6 billion miles away from the Sun, in a mysterious region beyond the Kuiper Belt called the Scattered Disk. Overlapping the outer edge of the Kuiper Belt, the Scattered Disk is sparsely populated by icy small bodies that have wild and random orbits that are thought to be as a result of gravitational interactions with Neptune during the formation of the solar system. Like other icy worlds in this region, Eris has a highly eccentric orbit, which brings the mysterious dwarf planet as close as 3.5 billion miles away from the Sun. One complete orbit takes as long as 557 years, but one day on the frozen world takes only 25.9 hours. Eris is currently at its farthest point from the Sun, resulting in a surface temperature of minus 246 degrees Celsius. Because of its immense distance, any atmosphere it might have had would have frozen and fell to the surface as snow. But as it gets closer to the Sun in a few hundred years from now, its icy surface will sublimate, creating a new tenuous atmosphere. The surface of the remote dwarf planet is thought to be similar to Pluto's, a frozen landscape made up of nitrogen and methane ices. Eris also has one very small moon called Dysnomia, which completes one orbit every 15.7 days and has a diameter of between 62 and 155 miles. The moon was named after the demon goddess daughter of Eris, who represented the spirit of lawlessness. When the discovery of Eris was announced back in 2005, the mysterious world was considered by many as the 10th planet in the solar system. However, due to Eris's similar size to Pluto, along with the announcement of Makemake and Haumea, the definition of what a planet actually is was up for debate. After months of debating on how to classify Eris, the IAU voted to change the definition of a planet, controversially demoting Pluto to a dwarf planet and reducing the solar system to 8 main planets. Pluto is now part of a group that includes Ceres from the asteroid belt, Haumea and Makemake, which we have already visited, and this distant world, Eris. So now that we have visited all of the confirmed dwarf planets beyond Pluto, let's travel to some potential candidates, like the strange small world that has been named Sedna. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Essential question: how does technology lead to discoveries? This lesson sums up how did technology affect the discoveries, how did technology lead to discoveries, and how did this technology helped people in discovering new things. These are some objects or elements used to discover new things, technological elements. Now we are going to start with the vocabulary words. Janelle works with many colleagues at her company. When you work with someone or when you study with someone, the people who do the same work as you do are your co-workers. So are the people whom you work with or you study with. Conservatively, estimating conservatively, this roast will serve 8 people, but possibly more. Estimating conservatively means close to something. Deduction. The doctor's deduction is that her symptoms are just as cold. Deduction is what he deduced, or the final decision or the final opinion he did. Drones. On some summer days, the sound of lawnmowers drones for hours. Drones are the machines used to cut the grass. Galaxy. The Milky Way galaxy is a system containing billions of stars. A galaxy is a system containing many stars. Sustain. Healthy snacks will sustain us if we get hungry on our hike. Will sustain us, it means they will support us. Ultimately, after working hard all semester, Magda ultimately passed the final exam. So it means that she did this after trying. Verify. There are many reasons why documents might be checked to verify your identity. To verify is to prove something. These are the meanings of the words. Deduction, conclusion formed using logical reasoning. Colleagues, people with whom you work. Conservatively, in a cautious way. Drones makes a low constant sound. Galaxy, extremely large cluster of stars held together by gravity. Sustain, support or keep going. Ultimately, something happens eventually or at the end. Verify, confirm that it is true. The genre of the text is the expository. You have explained this in the previous lecture. Like Detective talks about this lesson, it talks about discovering many things in space. First, discovering Pluto, scanning the Kuiper belt, combining new data with old. All of these are based on new technologies and new tools used in discovering the space. And it mainly talks about Eris, which is the dwarf planet, which was discovered due to technologies. The comprehension skill is the sequence of events which we already have explained before. It means when the events are written in order from the beginning to the middle to the end. Here's a poem that you have to memorize and recite on Flipgrid, which is Planet Roll Call. 8 planets around the sun. Listen as I call each one. Mercury here, number 1, closest to the sun. Venus here, number 2. Shining bright just like new. Earth here, number 3. Earth is home to you and me. Mars here, number 4. Red and ready to explore. Jupiter here, number 5. Largest planet, that's no jive. Saturn here, number 6. With rings and dust and ice that mix. Uranus here, number 7, a planet titled High in Heaven. Neptune here, number 8, with one dark spot whose size is great. This is the poem, which is about planets and related to the theme of the lesson. Now we are going to move to the spelling lesson, which is about easily confusing words that you think that they are the same but they are different. First of all, we have precede and proceed, straight, straight, lose, loose, later, later, picture, picture, principle, principle, respectfully, respectively, side, side, beside, besides, all together and all together. Of course, every one of these has a certain meaning. So we are going to discover this throughout the lesson and while explaining it.